John had always felt like there was something missing, something that made him less of a man. He couldn't quite put his finger on it, but he knew it had to do with his body. Specifically, his small manhood. As a teenager, John remembered feeling embarrassed in the locker room. His friends seemed to be developing faster, their bodies changing in ways that made them look more like men. John, on the other hand, felt like he was stuck in a state of perpetual boyhood. Those feelings of inadequacy lingered into adulthood. John avoided intimate relationships, because the ones he dated in the past complained of his small manhood, and the way he doesn't satisfy them on bed. So he decided to live a life of no relationship, but he knew he needs to marry. In order to bear children, one day, John met Emily. She was beautiful, intelligent, and kind. They struck up a conversation, and John found himself feeling drawn to her in ways he never thought possible. But as their relationship deepened, John's fears began to surface. He was terrified of being intimate with Emily, afraid that she would see his body and be disappointed. "John, what's wrong?" Emily asked one evening as they sat together on the couch. "You seem distant." John hesitated, unsure of how to share his fears. "It's just, I'm worried about what you'll think of me," he said finally. Emily's expression softened. "What do you mean?" she asked. John, on the hand, doesn't want Emily to know about his small manhood yet. So he decided to change the topic. "Never mind, my dear," John said. "I was just scared if you truly love me the way I love you." "Come on, John. I love you so deeply." Emily said. "You don't need to worry yourself about." "Okay," Emily said with love writing all over her face. Their relationship blossomed, with John hiding his secret. Intimacy became increasingly difficult for him. One evening, as they prepared for bed, Emily noticed John's unease. "John, what's wrong?" Emily asked, concern etched on her face. John evaded the question. "Just tired, that's all." As the days passed, John's anxiety intensified. He feared Emily would discover his secret and leave him. Their intimacy suffered, and Emily grew confused. He wondered why John has refused to touch him all this while they have been together. She decided to ask him, "John, do you still desire me?" Emily asked, her voice laced with uncertainty. John's heart ached. "Of course, Emily. You're amazing. I love you so much." "Then why have you refused to have sex with me all this while?" John was short of words. At this point he doesn't know what to say. "John, I know something's bothering you. Please tell me." Emily said. John's defenses crumbled. He knew he couldn't keep his secret hidden forever, but instead of confessing, John made an excuse. "It's work stress, Emily. That's all." Emily's eyes narrowed. She knew John wasn't telling the truth. Could it be he is a devoted Christian, or what? Emily silently asked herself. Emily confronted John about his secret, but he quickly fabricated a story to ease her concerns. "Emily, I've been wanting to talk to you about something," John said, taking her hand. "I want us to wait until after we're married to, you know." Emily's expression changed from concern to surprise. "You mean, until after the wedding?" John nodded fervently. "Yes, exactly. I want our love to be pure, and I don't want anything to come between us." Emily smiled, touched by John's supposed conviction. "I understand, John. I respect your wishes." John breathed a sigh of relief, grateful his secret remained hidden. Emily patiently waited, trusting John's words. Months passed, and their relationship grew stronger. Emily admired John's supposed commitment to their future together, but John struggled with guilt. He knew he'd lied to Emily, using his fabricated story as a shield. As their wedding day approached, John's anxiety intensified. He feared Emily would discover his secret on their honeymoon. The pressure mounted. One evening, as they strolled through the park, Emily turned to John. "John, I'm so excited for our future together," Emily said, her eyes sparkling. "I love you." John's heart swelled with emotion. "I love you too, Emily." But his conscience whispered, "You're deceiving her." Their wedding day arrived, and John's nerves were on edge. As they exchanged vows, John felt like he was living a lie. Their wedding night arrived, and Emily's excitement was palpable. As they prepared for intimacy, John's anxiety reached a fever pitch. As they slipped into bed, Emily's hands wandered, discovering John's small manhood. Emily's expression changed from passion to shock and then anger. "How could you not tell me?" Emily demanded, her voice trembling. "All this time, you lied to me." John's eyes pleaded for understanding. "Emily, I was afraid." "Afraid of what?" Emily cut in, her tone sharp. "Afraid I'd leave you? Afraid I'd reject you?" John nodded, tears welling up in his eyes. "Yes, I was terrified." Emily's face twisted in hurt and betrayal. "You should have trusted me. You should have been honest." John's voice cracked. "I know, Emily. I'm sorry." Emily's anger boiled over. "Sorry? Sorry isn't enough. You deceived me, John." The room fell silent, tension hanging heavy. Emily turned away, her back to John. "I need space." John's heart shattered. He knew he'd broken Emily's trust. Days passed, and Emily's anger lingered. John tried to apologize, to make amends, but Emily's hurt ran deep. Their honeymoon became a distant memory, replaced by awkward silence. Their love, once full of promise, now teetered on the brink. John and Emily's relationship had hit a rough patch. Despite their love for each other, John's small manhood had become a significant issue. Emily had tried to be understanding and supportive, but her frustration was growing. One evening, as they sat on the couch, Emily turned to John with tears in her eyes. "John, I love you, but I need more," she said, her voice cracking. "I need fulfillment. I need to feel satisfied. I need to feel like a woman that I'm." John's heart sank. He knew he couldn't provide the physical satisfaction Emily craved. He felt like a failure. "Emily, I'm sorry," John said, taking her hand. "I'm trying. I really am. But I don't know what else to do." Emily pulled her hand away. "Trying isn't enough, John. I need results. I need to feel like I'm not missing out on something essential." John nodded, feeling defeated. He knew Emily wasn't asking for much. She deserved to feel satisfied, to feel loved and cherished. The days that followed were difficult. John and Emily's intimacy became mechanical, lacking passion. Emily's frustration grew, and John's self-esteem plummeted. One night, as they lay in bed, Emily turned to John. "I won't feel like a woman right now. I want to have sex, but I know you are not man enough to satisfy me," she said to John with a voice full of pity. John, on the other hand, was so ashamed of himself, he lay his face on the bed and slept off. Emily confided in her closest friend, Sarah, about John's small manhood and their intimacy issues. Sarah listened attentively, offering a sympathetic ear. "Emily, I'm so sorry. That must be tough for you." Emily sighed. "It is. I love John, but sometimes I feel like I'm missing out on something essential." Sarah's expression turned serious. "Emily, you deserve to be happy. Maybe you should consider, getting what you need elsewhere." Emily's eyes widened in shock. "Sarah, no. I would never cheat on John. I love him so much." Sarah raised an eyebrow. "But aren't you already unhappy in your marriage? Don't you deserve satisfaction?" Emily shook her head firmly. "My happiness isn't just about sex. John makes me happy in so many other ways. He's kind, supportive, and loving." Sarah nodded thoughtfully. "I understand. But what about your needs? Don't you deserve to have those met?" Emily's voice filled with conviction. "My needs will be met when John and I work through this together. I'm not giving up on our marriage." Sarah smiled warmly. If I were you, I will get a lover boy who will give it to me anytime I want, Sarah said boldly. God forbid, Emily said. Nothing can make me cheat on my husband. I will rather look for a solution to our problem, she said with a voice full of pity. One evening, as they sat on the couch, Emily turned to John with a determined look. John, we need to talk. John's eyes met hers, sensing seriousness. What's on your mind, Emily? Emily took a deep breath. Our intimacy issues. We can't keep avoiding it, John nodded, his expression open. I know. I'm sorry, I haven't been able to fulfill your needs. Emily's hand reached out, touching John's. This isn't just about you, John. It's about us. We need help. John's eyes widened. You mean therapy? Emily shook her head. Not just therapy. A doctor. A specialist. John's face flushed. A doctor? For my issue? Emily nodded firmly. Yes. We need professional guidance. We can't fix this on our own. John hesitated, then nodded slowly. Okay. If it means saving our marriage, I'll do it, Emily smiled, relief washing over her. Thank you, John. I love you. The next week, they scheduled an appointment with Dr. Lee, a renowned sex therapist. As they sat in Dr. Lee's office, Emily felt a sense of hope. Maybe, just maybe, they could overcome their intimacy issues. Dr. Lee listened attentively, nodding along. I understand your concerns. Let's work together to address them. John's eyes met Emily's, filled with determination. We're in this together, Dr. Lee smiled. Excellent. Our first step will be to run some tests, ensure there aren't any underlying medical issues. Emily nodded, feeling a sense of progress. What's next? Dr. Lee outlined their plan, including therapy sessions and lifestyle changes. As they left the office, Emily turned to John. We're going to get through this, together. John's arm wrapped around Emily, holding her close. We will. I promise. Weeks passed, and John diligently followed Dr. Lee's treatment plan. He took the prescribed medication, attended therapy sessions, and made lifestyle changes. Emily noticed subtle changes in John's demeanor. He seemed more confident, more energetic. One morning, Emily woke up to find John's manhood standing in the bathroom, a mixture of shock and excitement on his face. Emily, look! John exclaimed, gesturing to his lower body. Emily's eyes widened as she took in the sight. John's manhood had grown significantly. Tears of joy filled Emily's eyes. Oh, John! It's working, John beamed with pride. I know. I can feel the difference too. Their intimacy began to transform. John's newfound confidence and Emily's renewed excitement rekindled their passion. Their lovemaking became more frequent, more intense. Emily's satisfaction grew, and John's pleasure skyrocketed. John, this is amazing. Emily whispered one night, her body trembling with delight. John smiled, his eyes shining with happiness. I know, right? I feel like a new man. Their relationship blossomed, filled with laughter, love, and renewed intimacy. Emily's friends noticed the change in her. You seem radiant, Emily. What's your secret? Emily's smile hinted at her renewed happiness. Just life, I guess. As John's treatment continued, their love grew stronger. They faced the future together, armed with renewed passion and commitment. With John's newfound confidence and their rekindled intimacy, Emily and John decided to start a family. Their excitement grew as they began trying for a baby. Months passed, and Emily's cycles came and went, but no positive pregnancy test. Undeterred, they continued trying, their love and desire for a child strengthening their bond. One morning, Emily woke up feeling off. She took a pregnancy test, and her heart skipped a beat as the results showed positive. John. Oh my God! Emily screamed, tears of joy streaming down her face. John rushed into the bathroom, embracing Emily. We did it! We're having a baby. Their joy was palpable as they shared the news with friends and family. 9 months flew by, and Emily gave birth to a beautiful baby boy, Jack. John held Emily's hand, tears in his eyes, as he gazed at their newborn son. We did it, Emily. We created life. Emily smiled, exhausted but radiant. We sure did. Years passed, and their family grew. They welcomed 2 more children, Sophia and Ben, their home filled with laughter, love, and chaos. John's career flourished, and Emily found fulfillment in motherhood and her own passions. Together, they navigated life's ups and downs, hand in hand. One evening, as they sat on their porch, watching their children play, John turned to Emily. "Thank you for standing by me," John said, his voice filled with emotion. Emily's eyes met John's. "I'll always stand by you." Their love story became a testament to the power of commitment, forgiveness, and growth. Years later, when asked about their secret to a happy marriage, Emily smiled. Love, patience, and a willingness to face challenges together. John nodded in agreement. And a little bit of faith. Their love continued to flourish, a beacon of hope for generations to come.